What's going on YouTube? It's your boy Dukez with another Frosty K vid. So this video will be based around 2v2 since a lot of my viewers have been asking me to upload some 2s, and mainly about this comment by Goot. So shout out to Goot. And it's basically, when do I decide to change auras? If I do, and do I ever change from Frozen Center to Delirium against certain comps, etc. So this video will be mainly about the thoughts behind my talents, if I do change them, if I don't change them, why, and all that good stuff. Alright, so I really hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do, remember to throw that thumbs up, share it with your friends, subscribe if you're new, and until next time guys, peace! Alright guys, so for the first matchup, we are going up against looks like a resto shaman feral, right? So for this one, I am actually just going the normal spec, and that would be with necrotic aura and with the root honor talent. Okay, so that means that we have the most burst with this, since 8% magical damage and the root just as an extra CC. Now the reason for that is being it's a resto shaman, he really can't move as well as other healers, so that was my thought behind this one. So right now I'm just bursting over here, got the stun. He did get astral shift out, and I might have been able to switch to the druid, but instead we decided just to stay on the shaman, just pressure him as much as we can. Alright, so, and it looks like it's working over here. Almost got him, so close, didn't have a kick yet, and he was able to recover. But we know in the next go that it is going to be either a link or death. So, I'm staying on him. My mistweaver is doing a really good job of kiting that feral. So, believe me, that helps a lot when you don't have to worry about the feral. Okay, so now I'm switching between them a little bit, but my main focus is the shaman. Notice how we got a DR stun. Well, actually, a little bit of stun because it's relentless. I apologize. And I do get a kick over here, and I'm able to get the kill right before my burst even came up. So you can tell that if we have a lot of uptime, this is the spec to go. All right, let's go to the next matchup. Alright guys, so for this next matchup, we are going up against a DH Holy Pally, right? So we fought this team a couple times this morning, and it was because they were the only ones queuing at our MMR, right? So the first matchup, we actually went with Necrotic, the normal spec that I usually use, Necrotic Aura and the Root. And honestly, it did not give me any benefit because I could not get that much uptime. Because I'm constantly being slowed, and the H-Pal is just using freedoms getting away, right? So we wanted to try something different over here. And notice what we took. We took Heartstop Aura, and we took Delirium as well, and my mistweaver took Tiger's Lust. So the moments that you see me flying around that box, it's because everything is stacked. He can't get away. I got Tiger's Lust on me, and I'm just being able to get that uptime. So I may have I don't have that 8% damage increase, but what's the point if I'm getting the most uptime I can? So technically I am doing more damage on this H-Pal than I was doing when I had the 8%. So Delirium, basically, let's go over it. So it does not slow the target. So it is worded a little bit confusing, and basically what it does is stacks twice when you use Frost Strike and Howling Blast, right? And basically any movement CD base cooldowns that you know, that the enemy has, like freedom in this instance, will be delayed by 20%, and I believe that's what it is. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't have it in front of me. So, and on top of that, we also have Heartstop Aura, so that's another 20% to all abilities. So Delirium is just for those movement abilities, so like the horse when he gets away, and the freedom, but Heartstop also stacks on top of that, which is another 20%. And also, Heartstop is 20% to everything else, so bops, Hodges, etc. So it throws off their game, and it's actually really good against H-Pals because they're a CD-based healer. Sometimes when you beat H-Pals and you do everything properly, you eventually win if you live long enough because they ran out of CDs to use, right? This team was really hard for us in the beginning when we took the other spec, because the other build, because they were always connected and we weren't, right? So this actually worked out, and it worked out really well. So Decomposing Aura, I never take in 2s. So that's one thing I never take in 2s, but in 3s I do, and it all depends on the comp that I'm running. So if I'm running with someone that doesn't benefit from magic damage, I won't take necrotic. I would either take, most of the time, decomposing aura. Like if I'm running with DH and he's running Fel Barrage, I will take necrotic, because his Fel Barrage is buffed by 8%. But if he's not taking Fel Barrage, then I usually take Decomposing, because it stacks, and also if we're going on healers and stuff, their HP and everybody around us is lower than it would, so we actually put a lot more pressure that way, right? Because in 3s it's a lot different. If you're getting peeled off your burst, then necrotic is not doing anything for you. But if decomposing is up, even if you're getting peeled, your DH is still getting benefit from it. So it's really good for 3s. But for this case right now in 2s, we are running the Heartstop Aura with Delirium spec. So no root, but no root is needed, honestly, because he had freedoms anyway to get out of it. So notice over here, the crucial thing behind switching is know who he's using the freedoms on. If he used it already on DH, you know that he can't get away. So over here, we get the kill just like that, because he couldn't get away. He didn't have freedoms, and their cooldown is a lot longer than they would be if we weren't running this spec. Let's get to the next matchup. Alright guys, so for this next matchup, it is against a mistweaver DK. So I came down to the conclusion that Heartstop Aura and Delirium was not really that good against mistweaver, because their cooldowns are a little bit shorter, like the port and all that stuff. And they got the benefit of a big map, so I really didn't like it, because he's still able to get away from me even when I reach him with the rolls and etc. I would have much liked the root, because eventually I get frustrated and I decide that I want to go on the DK, right? And DK is already limited in mobility, so Delirium and Heartstop is really not that great. In the previous matchup with the HPAL and the DH, the Heartstop and Delirium also affects the DH, because on his dashes, etc. So over here, notice how like most of the time I'm being slowed, so I still can't reach the mistweaver as well. And I much rather would have had the root. But yeah, I was just testing it out, seeing how I like it. Does that mean this is not good? No, because if it was a smaller map, I would have stayed connected more often onto that mistweaver. Okay, so over here I'm just hitting the mistweaver anytime I get, but if I get gripped off, now he probably already has his port back up, etc. So we do get a stun on him over here. So I'm going to, my burst just came up, so, and he poured it right away. So I am wraith walking to him, and now that I am slowed, if he gets away, I can't connect again. See, he just got away again, and I missed my dragon onto him. I shouldn't have hit it, but I hit it before he rolled away, so that's in my defense. So over here, I decide that I am going on the DK a little bit. I'm playing a little bit defensive, because notice how the DK is just getting me low, and we're just spending too much time chasing that mistweaver. He's doing a good job of kiting away and playing far away from us. So I do get rooted over here, and notice how the root does stop me a lot. The DK is all I'm affecting is his basically his wraith walk, which that's all he has, right? But every chance I get, I am going on to the mistweaver still. We got the trinket over here. He does get a really good port. He was able to get the cocoon off as well. I get gripped off and I get rooted, and that's gonna top him off. So I decide, so over here we do get IBF since I'm bursting, and we do get IBF on the DK, and that's when I decide that DK is my new kill target, because he doesn't have IBF, they don't have cocoon either. So he gets a super DR stun on me. Over here, I do get him in the stun, which almost got him down, but my burst was up. So if my burst wasn't down, I should say, we probably would have won. So I told my healer to if he can. So I get a kick over here, right? And we get an in cap, and still no connecting factor. So I do grip him. And I'm trying to reach him, but he's still getting away. So instead of just like tunneling, I decide to go on to the DK. And I'm going on to the DK right now. And the DK is bursting, so I get cocooned and I AMS, kind of overlapped over there. But it's alright, we get the most out of it. And I'm going to start my burst over here, and I should be able to secure the kill very soon. But they do pop AMZ, so that's going to slow me down a little bit. I do get the stun though. And I decide to go on to the mistweaver again, but he ports away. Just like the delirium, and without having the root was being very frustrating. Because at least I could have got some hits off if I rooted him and he wasn't near his port, etc. We got Cocoon again, which is really good. He's playing very defensive because he knows I keep wanting to switch to him. And now I'm going to start hitting the DK again. As I'm making my way to the mistweaver, notice how I'm also hitting the DK. That way I have my options open. And since the mistweaver is busy kiting, he knows that I'm onto him, etc. The DK is wasting his grips on me to peel me off, which is really good for my healer because now he's able to cast and not worry about grip for another 12 seconds after this. So over here, I tell him to get the incap. We got the incap. We're going to have a stun out. My burst is coming up, and I'm going to use it right now because he did trinket the stun, but it's too much damage right now, and we're able to get the kill.